Hi, I will show you how you can get a georeferenced file or image or data from SketchUp or from QGIS to SketchUp to Google Earth, and how you can actually get anything from SketchUp to Google Earth, and also making sure that it's georeferenced, which is the important part here. So we want to make sure that everything is in the right position. Yeah, the aim of my video here is to show how I get this file, this 3D file with an image from SketchUp, and this has actually been imported from QGIS, and everything is georeferenced. So the place to start is QGIS. Now I have a file or an image imported into QGIS. It can be from any other source, but the important thing here is that in QGIS everything is georeferenced. And if I want to have this, get this into SketchUp, I will export it as an image. And if I press Project and Import Export, I can export map to image. That will bring up this dialog, and you can see there is north, south, east, and west coordinates. And if I move my background image and press the map canvas extend, the coordinates also change. And we can see actually here at the present window, the scale is 1 to 282,527. And if we zoom in and press the extend again, you will see that the scale change as well as the coordinates. So I will just go back. I've saved a previous view as a spatial bookmark, project bookmark, which also means that if I want to export other maps from QGIS into SketchUp to exchange the texture there, I can just rename the file or select another file. As long as it has the same file format or the width and height, everything will work perfect. So I will press map canvas extend, and then I get the western, eastern, southern, and northern coordinates, and I need to keep these. So I'll copy, and I'll copy each of them. First the west, then the east, the south, and the north. And then I'll go into Notepad, and I'll just delete this. And then I'm on a PC. So I can use the Windows tab together with V. That will bring up this dialog where I have all my coordinates pasted. I'll first paste the west coordinate, then the south, then the east, and then the north. And that'll actually make it possible for me in SketchUp to create the same window that I have here in QGIS with the same dimensions. And that'll be important. Also, I need to change the comma to a period. So I pressed Control H, and then I'll replace all, which is done. And if I press Windows V, I can actually clear all the previous clipboards that I had. I will copy these again, which will make sense in a minute. This might not be necessary for you because, just Command C. I'll close this, and then I have to remember to save this image. I will save it as Denmark and press save. I want to replace it. Yes. Now we'll go into SketchUp. I'll delete this. And we're at the origin. So I need to recreate the surface I had from QGIS. And the way to do it, I have an extension called coordinates tag, and I'll put a link to that. I will add coordinates tag by dialog, which will bring up this window, and then I can paste the coordinates, the western and the southern, which will give me my left, my furthest down, left, and I'll place the eastern coordinate and the northern coordinate and press OK, and then cancel. Then I'll zoom out. You can see they're actually up here. And I will use the line tool to create the surface, using shift to stay on the x-axis, like that. And we have a surface, and I'll put some depth to it. First step, now we need to import the image that we exported from QGIS. I will press import, and we have it here. I will import it as a texture, and I will make it fit my box. I will take the bucket tool and just with the Alt make sure I have the texture for later. So far so good. I'll just create a group. No. With this, I'll create a group, because then we still have the coordinates here. If I group everything, the coordinates change to an origin, so I won't do that. Now I want to show you how Google Earth works with regards to coordinates, and also how SketchUp works, and how we make sure that the two can communicate. Now if we go into, I will just delete this. If we go into Google Earth, in the lower right corner you can see there is a coordinate. This is at the moment UTM-32, and my cursor is at a coordinate called 568,000 to the east, and far to the north. So the east is in regards to the Greenwich, and we can actually, somewhere here I think. And the north is regarding to equator. So I am now north, and now I am south. Yeah, so 6 million something meters to the north and 500 and something thousand to the east in regards to Greenwich and equator. This coordinate can actually be displayed also as decimal degrees, and what I did is I go to functions, settings. At the moment I have the coordinates shown in Universal Transverse Mercator, but I can also set it to decimal degrees, and that is what SketchUp works in. So I will set this to decimal degrees. No, actually I'll set it to Universal Transverse Mercator first. I'll show you why. So set it to Universal Transverse Mercator, press apply and OK, and now we'll go back to SketchUp, and I will import I'll go to Windows, Model Info, and Geolocation. I'll clear my location and I'll add a location. So I'm also in Denmark here, And I can actually place it similar, or yeah, close to where the middle of our map was. I can also place it to where I am sitting, somewhere here. And I can't import at the moment, so I need to zoom in. Let's see, yeah. No, that's not it. I changed a bit. Okay, it's an old photo. I'm here. So when I zoom in, I can select the region and I'll press import. And if I mark the region and use my shortcut for zoom extend, you can see where I am. And everything that it imports from that window is placed in a square, and it is placed so the middle of the square is in SketchUp's origin. And that is what we have to do with our model as well. I will just press Ctrl C to get away, and then zoom extend, Ctrl A, zoom extend. And now we'll select or find the middle of our model. And as soon as I have it grouped, I can't see the middle of the line, but if I go into the group, press the line tool, I can see I have the middle. Draw on the x-axis to the other midpoint, and do the same from the top on the x to the midpoint. And I can use that, again, extension, which is coordinate tag, and I can mark the center. Once we have that, I can again copy the coordinates, and with the coordinates I'll just place them in my notepad, and let's just clear everything. So this is the center of my model, and I need to place those coordinates, Command C again. I need to place those coordinates in Google Earth. The way to do that is we add a pin, because once we've added the coordinates in Universal Transverse Mercator coordinates, we can convert it to decimal degrees, and then we can place it correctly so Google Earth again can recognize our SketchUp model. That'll make sense in a bit. I added the pin, and I can move it around. You can see here the coordinates change, but we want to place it directly in the center of our model, or the center, which is the center here. So it's somewhere between here, but you don't have to be able to place it precisely by or manually. We can just paste the coordinates. And let me see, that was the first and the north. And we'll even give it a name, Denmark center. So, as you can see, this is in meters in regards to the Greenwich and the equator. We'll save that, and I'll go up to functions again, settings, and change it to decimal degrees. Apply, press OK, and I will select properties. And now we have the coordinates of that pin in decimal degrees. Again, I will copy, and I'll just clear all. I'll copy again just to make sure that I don't have too much. We will go back into SketchUp, And I'll move everything to the origin. Now, one thing I like to do also is I have this information regarding the center of the model, and I'll copy it again, and then I can save this. Let me just find a good place. I'll save it in SketchUp or in a folder, call it Denmark. Every time I move something which is georeferenced, I always keep that information of how much I've moved it in the file name. So at the moment I'm actually going to move it this much in the x-axis and this much in the y-axis. So I will save this file, save as, and then add offset x minus this, let's see, this was the x, y minus this was the y, and then save it. Which means that I can always get it back, or if I bring in other georeferenced data, I can always make the things meet. I normally don't move it that specific. I move it a more even number. But for this, for now, when we need to get it into SketchUp, it needs to be precise. I'll take the whole model and I'll place it in the origin. Like that. And we're almost there, because the next thing we need to do is tell SketchUp where the model is placed. And we do that by going into Model Info, Geolocation, and we'll set the position manually. And these are the latitude and longitude that we got from Google Earth. Just going back. That is longitude and latitude. And we'll just clear all. I'll copy the longitude and latitude, go back into Google Earth, and we'll place the latitude and the longitude. Wait, where am I? There. And press OK. Make sure that you have this is north of equator and this is east of the Greenwich, and press OK. That's it. Now we have made sure that it's georeferenced the way Google Earth knows. And I'll just save it, and then we'll export. We'll export it as a KMZ file. I'll save that. We'll call it Denmark. And I will save it as a KMZ file. We have this close to being done. And I'll press export. Once it's exported, we'll go into Google Earth and I'll find the file there. And let's see the timestamp. Yep, open. Voila. And we can even see we have the box. Of course, the next thing is making sure that we also get the curvature of the Earth. That'll be for another video. But for now, everything works fine and everything is georeferenced. So we went from QGIS or anywhere where you have image that is georeferenced to SketchUp and then to Google Earth. And you can do this with any image or data or anything that is georeferenced. I hope that made sense. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Thanks. Bye.